Coming up on NSEN, find out who left Augusta with a coveted green jacket.
Dwight Howard and Stan Van Gundy. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
And which college hockey team won the Frozen Four?
All that plus the hot seat, fantasy zone, and more. NSEN starts right now. What's good, sports fans? Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm your host, Brandon Hagan.
And I'm Channing Martin. Welcome to NSEN Sports.
Green is a prize in more ways than one, as Augusta National was the site of the top PGA and European players to drive it out. The Masters was this weekend, and the favorites were Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods. American Bubba Watson won the Masters in a playoff against South African Louis Oosthuizen. They were tied at the conclusion of the fourth round with 10 under par. The first playoff hole, both players shot par. The second hole, Watson scored a birdie while Oosthuizen shot a par, giving the win to Watson. Tiger Woods shot an even par first round and finished with a score of 5 over par during the tournament, tied for his worst Masters record in his career. Rory McIlroy finished tied with Woods at +5.
Football time is returning as the Blue Raiders strap on the pads to take on their counterparts in the annual Blue Raider White and Blue game. The spring game is Saturday, and it's free to the students. Current season ticket holders, that person will refer them can earn anything from an autographed poster to being named an honorary captain for the game. That reward is for 10 referrals. To get started, visit GoBlueRaiders.com. Download the PDF title referral program.
After a slow start to the season, the Blue Raider baseball team seems to have kicked it into high gear. The Blue Raiders have won 5 consecutive games, including sweeping Arkansas Little Rock this past weekend in a 3-game series. MTSU has scored 44 runs during this stretch while only giving up 13. Their record is now 20-12, and the conference record is 8-4. Their next game is Wednesday at Austin Peay. The next home game is also against Austin Peay next Wednesday on the 18th.
The women's golf team looks to make it 3 in a row to end this season this week. For the last 2 seasons, the MTSU women have claimed the victory in the season finale tournament, and it's that time again. They teed off today in Sanford Intercollegiate in Alabama. The tournament lasts today and tomorrow, with 18 holes being played both days. After this, the Sun Belt Championship is in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, April 16th through 18th.
Tennis season comes to a close this week for the nationally ranked Blue Raiders. The MTSU Raiders are ranked 56th so far, and Tuesday hosts the 59th ranked UAB Blazers. Our senior Matthew Langley will be honored before the 1 p.m. start time. The Blue Raiders have won the last 4 meetings against the Blazers. They are on a 6-match winning streak overall, the longest streak since the end of the 2009 regular season and postseason. It may sound like a segment starring Los Angeles Clippers head coach Vinny Del Negro, but I promise it's not. It's this week's Hot Seat with Chris Burnett.
Welcome to the Hot Seat. I'm your host, Chris Burnett, and today I want to take the time to evaluate who I think will be the #1 overall pick in this month's NFL draft, and that's Andrew Luck, quarterback from Stanford University. Luck recently had his pro day hosted on the campus of Stanford University, where a scout from all 32 NFL teams was present. Luck chose not to run and did little throwing in the NFL Combine that took place at the end of February. He decided to wait until he was back on his own practice fields, where he spent countless hours and days doing just that before he would show the scouts what he could really do. Luck was as cool and as calm as they come on an unseasonably chilly and windy day. He completed 46 of 50 passes on his way to having a nearly perfect outing for all eyes to see. 3 of the incompletions he threw were actually drops by the receivers, which would have put his numbers with only 1 incompletion. It just doesn't get much better than that. He threw a 70-yard plus bomb to Chris Owusu, who mishandled and eventually dropped it in the end zone, but it was right on the money. The pro day itself can be categorized as nothing less than a circus, with a total of 125 league scouts and executives from the NFL present, and another 150 credentialed media all there to see what this guy could do. Anytime your potential #1 draft pick is spending as much time talking and laughing with players, coaches, and scouts as Luck did on this day, I think it's safe to say that he passes the calm under pressure aspect of being an NFL quarterback. One of the most impressive things Luck was able to do was get out of the pocket in the scramble drills and sling balls to his wide receivers and tight ends on the run with the amount of wind in his face that was present at the time. One scout joked that his release in the wind didn't even matter since Indianapolis played indoors. Just another indicator that even scouts from other organizations are aware that the only place Luck will be dressing next season is Indianapolis in a Colts uniform. Luck's collegiate statistics are nothing short of amazing after passing for 9,430 yards and 82 touchdowns, setting multiple records for the Cardinal and becoming an icon in the world of college football. His only nemesis at this time is the reigning Heisman Trophy winner and Robert Griffin III, who some think will rival Luck for the top spot in this year's draft. I have to say that I think RG3 is a special player and will have a long career in this league. He himself has a strong arm and the ability to make plays with his feet in a way most QBs do not. However, Luck's offensive mastery and the ability to see things before they happen tell me that he will be your #1 pick in the 2012 NFL Draft. There are question marks circling RG3's ability to make pre-snap reads and understand some of the more complex defenses seen in the NFL. Taking RG3 first overall would not be a bad decision, but it is still a hit or miss decision. With Luck as the first pick, it is a win-win situation. He has proven over multiple seasons that this is his spot to lose. There was speculation this time a year ago that if he came out early, he would have been the #1 pick then. Instead, he goes back for another season and polishes some of his skills, becoming a more comfortable and prolific passer, as well as learning how to be an NFL quarterback. Well, he's done everything he needs to do. It's time to sit back and let the chips fall where they may, and I have no doubt he will be donning a Colts jersey and baseball hat when they announce this year's first overall pick in the NFL Draft later this month. That's all the time we have. Here in the hot seat, I'm your host, Chris Burnett. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Chris. Here at NSEN, we like to do a little something special for all the ladies in the world. So here to make sure all of your fantasies are fulfilled. Wait a minute. I'm being told the segment is just about fantasy sports. Sorry, ladies. Anyways, here's Jordan Powell with this week's Fantasy Zone.
Who would have guessed that the Kentucky Wildcats would be the NCAA champions this year? If you paid attention to the hype while making your bracket, it seems to have paid off this year. The other team in the final game was the Kansas Jayhawks. Now, Kansas overcame a close game against the Ohio Buckeyes, but it appears that this year there are only 2 favorites, and there weren't any Cinderella stories. No underdogs, which is disappointing for my bracket. But when you think about it, any team that plays against Kentucky was an underdog during that tournament. Even though Kentucky came from behind in several games, including their near meltdown against Louisville in the Final Four, Kansas may have had a significant shot at defeating them. Either way, it seems as if only a select few people would root against Kentucky because of how good they were doing. And if you aren't a believer in hype, such as myself, then good luck on your bracket next year. Back to you.
Thanks, Jordan. Much like Hulkamania, Sportsmania is running wild all over the set here at NSEN. And here with that and a little disc golf, here's Ronnie Bradley.
Hi guys, welcome to Sports Club Mania. I'm Ronnie Bradley. Today, I'm here with the Vice President of the Disc Golf Club, Nick Hilliard. Hi Nick, how's it going?
It's going great.
Cool. All right, so how long do you think disc golf has been around?
Disc golf's been around, started out between the 70s and 80s, and basically started out with kids that had frisbees, and they'd make makeshift targets and create courses, just like a golf course would be.
Oh, cool. Okay, so what exactly is disc golf?
Well, it's the same rules and principles as traditional golf. You have par, and you have strokes, and you have water hazards, and you have out of bounds. It's basically the same thing with frisbees.
Okay, awesome. Golf and frisbee combined. Okay, so how could you become a part of the MTSU branch of disc golf?
It's really easy. We've got flyers around, not really, but actually I don't know.
Okay. Is there any experience or equipment needed to join the club?
Not really. We can loan you out discs, anybody out discs, and you just want to come out, even learn about the sport, just have fun, day outside. You don't even have to play. You can just come and watch if you'd like to.
Awesome. So there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for coming out, Nick. And I can't wait to see what's next for MTSU's Disc Golf Club.
Thanks, Ronnie. Channing actually left his lights on his car in the parking lot, so while he goes and turns those off, here's some commercials.